feel Big Bang and black hole and spiraling galaxy. Feel myself as arc of swallow, bend of river, canyon depth. Feel myself as wind, as branch, as scent of evergreen, as slowly spinning earth. In those moments I feel the everything I am and the everything I am not. A self so whole it is lost. No me, no you, no other. No here, no there, no when, no need to name, no need to understand, no need to state things just so. The quietest of teachings, the erasing of the one who wants to know. The quietest of teachings, the erasing of the one who wants to know. I want you to imagine, bring into your awareness a difficult situation, maybe something that happened this morning or something you're chewing on or that happened in the past, or just bring it into your awareness, into your body, along with infusing yourself with the space. Infuse with the 5 words we worked with yesterday. Relaxed, open, playful, curious, loving, but just infuse with space. It is one of the most loving acts that we can do, is to give space, to offer spaciousness within us, around us, to others. To allow someone to be as they are. To allow ourselves to be as we are. If we have a tightness in us, if we tighten more around the tightness, we become tighter. But when we just let the tightness be as it is, letting ourselves be with the space around it and through it, it naturally, spontaneously will soften. Dzogchen and Mahamudra, the teachings in Tibetan Buddhism, sort of the highest teachings, if we want to say that, are all the teachings around space. Mahamudra is actually the teaching. The word Maha is highest. Mudra being the female partner in consort, which is wisdom. Highest wisdom, with the goal being the union of all apparent dualities, which is why I'm teaching it again, is to the realization that there could not be a duality because we are so totally connected. And for me, who has very little time left on the planet in this form, there is a great deal of relaxation for me in knowing that level of connection. That my form that has arisen will fall apart, but my connection to the whole is not changed. I hope you can feel that in yourself. But we need to keep the groundedness in our low belly. There's an earthy quality in our low belly so that we don't become spacey. So we have a few minutes for questions about this morning's practice, whatever might be coming up. Yeah. You can then, it's a great question because it comes up so much in Buddhist practice in general. The whole idea of are we becoming passive constantly as humans, most often in overriding the space, right? So we're driving through using our head and not our intuition. What we were saying yesterday is that if we actually were trusting the intuitive response to life, we would find that our action would be much more precise and much more appropriate. Would we probably do less? Yes. But my experience is that my response to life, my doing gets less, but my response to life gets more accurate. And so when I need to take action, or when I need to be active, say for a cause or to help somebody, I will have much more knowing about the right response. If I listen, it may take time to shift gears, so it feels like we're becoming very passive. But if you trust that for any length of time, it will begin to inform the transformation into the next thing. But usually is we don't ever give it enough time because we panic. Right? And that is the feeling that then everything comes up of who are we? What are we worth? Should we be, that we're worthless if we're not active. And that's why I want to challenge everybody to see what it's like to listen more deeply, which may mean you will be more still for longer. But your actions will be much more appropriate. And the gift that we give the world by actually standing back and listening is so huge. And then again, it's Manjushri. That sword is so fucking sharp. We don't go through with a butter knife. It's so sharp. Yeah. One, I would say that if you had the insight, you will not lose it. And you don't need to go back and grab it. It will totally be there for you. And just trust the arising of it. But that's a perfect example of flow, of something arising and falling away, falling apart. But I've really found with insight when it comes is to just totally trust it. When we have insight when we're sitting, this is a difference between, we might say, a contemplation and a meditation, is that we want to, even those mind-blowing insights where we go, I just saw God, I understand, where we just let it come and go and trust. Yeah, you have everything you need. I can say for myself that there is something so comforting in the understanding that I am held so deeply by the space between us. And that when I look in either way, that these two beings are as aware of me as I am of them. And the awareness of that is like, whew, man, have I been arrogant at times to not remember that relationship that's happening. I know in myself the part that wants to resist trusting my relationship with all things and my willingness to give space, because there is some place inside that says, if I am not defining who I am, creating the sense of I will not be here. I will not be worthy. I will not. And there's something that I want so much to leave you guys with, that you can trust yourself. And in fact, the space is much more trustworthy than your mind. And if you allow yourself, your mind, your being is so trustworthy. Any other questions or thoughts?
Tori, on the last retreat with Peter a couple of weeks ago, when you did this same space where you look at the space between, initially I had anxiety doing that, and I just kept, doing the practice, and I still have some anxiety. It's not as much, but I kind of want to, as Greg was talking about, take it and, figure it out.
Yeah. We are designed, our minds are designed to look at the object, right? And in that looking at the object, we focus on the object and we want to pin it down. So when we look at space, it's like blowing that whole story apart, where we're saying everything is allowed, everything is accommodated, everything is free. I'll never forget when we first moved into the Sangha, into the studio here. And we would be at the end of a sitting, and we would have talked about the soft gaze. And people would then come back and talk about all the patterns in the floor. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That everybody was looking at. I saw a cat. I saw clouds. And it was like, no. And that's that soft gaze. When we used to practice here, we talked a lot about looking from the retina, right? From the back of the eye, which softens the gaze, which allows us to look at space. Imagine looking at your beloved, your partner, and the difference between looking at them with just laser-like eyes, right? And we're just totally defining them, those little fuckers. We're just defining them. We're just putting them in a little box right there, knowingly or unknowingly. And imagine being able to see them with all accommodating eyes. All vast, limitless, unknowing, curious, playful, open, relaxed, and loving eyes. I would love for all of us to have that capacity, so that when they actually do something that hurts our feelings, we're then able to feel the hurt of our feeling without annihilating them to be a bad person. But we get to express the arising of an experience over here of sadness or hurt or anger, and we get to accommodate the totality of them. But this is where right speech comes in. We speak from the standpoint of what is arising over here, which then they have the ability to respond to. But we so often don't want to feel the hurt over here, so we annihilate over there to alleviate what's happening here, which just cuts the space. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when we teach about space, it's that how do we bring that to everything we do? Like, I've really struggled the last few days with my hands because of the cold. And I could feel that I'm very likely going to have to leave my house because my hands are so bad. And I could feel the grief and some like how I don't know, where would I go warm and have to leave all of you and this. And I just let myself be infused with that space and the flow and the recognition that things arise and they fall apart. And that way I could feel I had the potential to totally contract around that. And I bring that up only because it's a recent experience where I could feel the contraction. And how in that moment can I bring relaxed, open, playful, curious, and loving to an impossible situation. And it helped. A lot yesterday in that we have to feel the feelings that we don't want to feel without the overlay. And usually when we're not there yet, my experience is because we're not allowing ourselves to feel something in that moment because it is all there. This practice is so simple. It's so profoundly simple that if we're struggling, we're off the mark. Totally off the mark. And just as I've said a million times, the only panic attack I ever had was at a Maha Mudra retreat because I was trying too hard to be with space. Right? And it was such a great teacher that I was doing the exact opposite thing, which was to just relax. And if there's a strong feeling, just relax into it. And it will arise and pass away quicker than we can snap a finger usually. But to really let ourselves relax into it with no technique. Just relax. Relax the muscle of your brain. Just breathe. And that is, to me, way better than saying, I'm just not there yet. You are right there. Every moment, we just have to relax into it. And feel when an emotion comes up, it's just like the wind touching our face. And to not resist the feelings. And like this morning when I was contracting, it was a split second of the thought of, wow, I really have to live. Instead, I just let myself just grieve in that moment. And it arose and passed, and there was more space, and then I moved on. Because that's not what's happening right now. I would not go into the story of I'm not there yet, because that's just another story. It's a very kind story. But I would say more, I would put your attention, just relax. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. I can't say it enough. What I'm teaching is the simplest thing you could imagine. Don't make it hard. Don't make it hard.